So we're starting. Okay.
Yep.
Hello everyone. Today's what are we? 16th of January 2017. I don't know what the carrying date is for that. Should really follow John and do that at some point. And it's the Noyantis user group. Really, it's over to you guys on questions. There's no exciting news to report at present. We have got some updates coming out as we mentioned last week, but um, basically there's no other progress to report on them. So we're going to go straight into questions. Um, Anybody got any questions to start with? John, I think you had one last week, did you not? Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry,
I dropped.
you're keeping me on my toes today, you.
What happened there? I dropped out or something. I don't know. I lost everybody.
So yeah. Well, while we're waiting for questions and people are still joining and so on,
I have a question.
you had a question from last week, and I think we said we would start with you this week anyway. So it's only
Yeah.
fair we do so.
Okay.
Fire away.
So, all right. So, you can do this on your end, actually. So, I've been having crashes with the command bars, right?
Yes.
So I started looking up my code to see what was going on, just to see what was going on. Anyway, in the main frame, what I've been doing is there's a, a minimize button where you can minimize the ribbon bar,
Okay.
and so you can make it smaller, you can make it big. I wanted to save that setting so that when if people set it to be minimized, the next time that they came back in, it would be minimized. And so I had it checking to see if it was minimized in the take event, which means that every time it was going to take event, it was probably a lot of times, it was checking to see if it was minimized or not. And then if it had changed from what it was set, then it would set the ini file and change it, so save it. That's probably not the right way to do it, because I think it's just hitting it so many times that it's eventually it just falls over or something.
It would be.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. So I took out all of those things. I also found that I had it in the except loop too. So it was just happening obviously way too many times. So I took those out, and since then I haven't had it crash. Doesn't mean well, but that's so far it's so good. I took out all the stuff where it checks it at all. But what I need to do still is if they change it, I need to save it. So I was trying to figure out
How?
how to do that on what event, or I didn't see any event that it was triggering or
Okay.
anything like that that said that I just changed this to be a minimized ribbon bar. So I guess if I can get to that, then I just have to do it the one time when they actually do it,
Okay.
and that
That
might take care of
sounds
the
about right.
problem. Yeah.
So I'm going to mod the example that goes with the app. I'm just going to modify that to be start a ribbon bar by default. Um, yeah, let's just do that to start with, and then we'll knock it around to look like you want it to. That sound okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Very quickly, let's just change this then to be a ribbon.
Yeah, I
So
think it was just doing that. I think it was just doing get property so many times that it was tripping on itself at some point. Anyway.
quite posh, yeah. Would have been definitely putting it under undue stress for no reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got that, and we'll just have so let's see what this looks like now. We'll get some content on there, and then we'll put the settings on like you have. Oh no, sorry, wrong one. Oh, that was a vast. Oh, that threw me then. Okay, and we'll just put some content in there. Examples, and the content can be off the Clarion menu. I think there is a Clarion menu on there. Okay, bit rubbish. So you got a button over on the right of you to say basically hide the
It's
ribbon.
not a button. It's just the regular ribbon drop down thing, like that little um, tiny right next to the
Yeah, yeah,
red
yeah.
right that. Yeah,
Okay.
there's it says minimize ribbon bar on it too.
Oh, okay.
Is there is that on? It's just a little thing. It's right under where it says show below ribbon. Then there's another option. Then it says um,
Let's have a look at the options. There
minimize.
was, I mean, you
Yeah,
can add a button on there. I think I knocked the example together for Arnold a long time ago.
I
Uh,
think it's in the.
so, what would it be made possibly under here? No.
Bar.
Clients.
Allow bar to be minimized right there.
Yeah, that'll be the one.
Yeah, that's it. And then it shows up under that little arrow.
Okay, okay.
There it is. That's what I need to catch, is that, so that I can save it when that happens.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, yeah. You spoilt the party there then, because I thought you was going to have your own control for it.
Oh, no, that'd be too easy.
Of course, yeah. Well, let's have a look if anything is executing, first and foremost.
Okay. I mean, I guess worst case, I could save it when you exit the program, but um, I'd like to do it when they actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah, in case it crashed and so on.
Exactly. But even then, it's not that big a deal. They just shrink it again.
Okay. Oh, do you know what? That's actually, I've got to stop using, I've got to get into the habit of stop using message and using debug. So
That's right.
let's do that. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just have some stuff open at the side of us here. So what we should be able to do there then is self debug param ID. And there's that. Sorry about this, guys. Debug. What am I missing? Oh, yes. So what I'm going to, what we want to do first is check is it executing with an ID that we can trap. Okay, and if we can, brilliant. If not, then we're going to have to look for it via maybe listening to an event.
Okay.
So if I press one of these, I've got the ultimate deview debug there. Turn the debug on. And we won't turn the event func on yet because that is a lot of feedback and it can muddy the water a little. So yeah, so we have got that. No, it's not posting. That's a shame. It's not posting a new event back. Okay,
That's kind of what I found out.
Yeah.
Too.
So we're going to have to look for one particular event instead. So we go into the code jock. Let's have a look. And we're looking for these the events basically. Now we could go into the help. There's no right or wrong. It's just the easiest way. Toolbar note. Do you know what? We'll have a look at the help to see what that event is.
That's whether it's hidden or
Cool.
visible.
No. Okay. And you don't fancy putting your own button on there?
Maybe I could.
Well, let's have a quick look. We can't give up this easy, but with your own button, it would be very simple to do. But we'll take a quick look here.
It would take up room though on my ribbon bar.
Yes, it would. Resize. The resize will probably do it, but that's a bit of an update. Okay, tell you what we'll do. Let's put on the debug. We'll turn on the event func. Now that will flood the actual debug, so we'll just go and take a look after that. Okay. And we'll come out. All right, so here's some of the actions we've just done. There was a resize client, and I think the resize client might be the one, probably the thing that we're after. There you go, John, no messages. You should be proud of me now.
Looks good. Isn't that easier though? I mean, come on. Plus, you couldn't message those events out. They happen too fast.
No, you wouldn't be able to. And this is the age-old thing with the messages. Sometimes that can actually cause an event. So then you're in a never-ending loop.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Oh, this looks great.
So,
and you got the format working and everything. It looks terrific.
I would. Can I search for that a filter for the resize client?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Oh, can I do it in there? Can I just do resize client? Just want to know how many times it occurs. Okay.
I'll show you a shortcut. Okay.
Yeah.
Go down to the bottom there, the big square at the bottom. Right?
Yeah.
Highlight where it says resize client, and then click on filter highlighted right above it.
Oh.
There you go.
It's like you know this system.
It is. Then you can see all of them. And then if you need to see what's around it, just highlight one of them and then click reset, then it will show everything again. So that's how that works.
Okay. So yeah. So do you know?
You can also do find highlighted too. If you highlight it and click find highlighted, then it's find. We'll go through it.
A couple more than that. Just looking for the best event because. Basically, the client area, your client area yourself is basically of the control. So it's not the OLE container window. That's something that I create and maintain. The client area is the client area of the OCX itself, so the command bar in this instance. So either where it's getting the borders or it's doing the resize and so on. I think that would be it. Now I think what we'll do is we'll listen for the resize client. We'll listen for that, and under condition, we'll debug some code out purposely just to have a look at the status of the ribbon. Is it expanded or not? Okay. So, not on that one, although we will turn the event func off. Did I close the thing? I did, didn't I? Typical. Okay, let's turn that off. On the app frame, we'll still just tell it to start listening for an event. The event will be resize client. That, when that event, OTX event that is, triggers, it will then cause an embed point trigger, which is event. They are case sensitive, so do be careful. So in there, we want to know the actual status of, now what property is it you're saving, John? Might as well use the one that you're doing.
Let me look it up real quick. I'm doing get bar property. I'm doing the command bar dot get bar property ribbon comma minimized.
Right, okay. Because I'm just going to
Is get bar property and get property the same now? It's probably an old thing.
No, you won't get bar on that.
Get bar property.
Well, if basically the get bar will do it for execute the property, the get or the set on just one particular bar of the ID that you pass it. Get property is like the parent of it, so you would pass it the raw object and then the dot property and so on and so forth. So get bar property will still use get property, but it will know what the object ID is internally.
Okay.
So that's what that is. So our bar is ribbon, and
minimized is the one that
just the minimized. Yeah,
just minimized. Yeah. I guess it comes. I didn't have a dot in front of mine, but
I was going to say you don't actually have to put the dot in; it will put it in for you. Okay. Pull that over there. Okay. Oh, is that all I actually told it to message out? Just the... Oh, it was just that.
I have a suggestion for you on your debugging too. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. That's good. Okay. So there's still some more resizers going in, but there's nowhere near. If we just filter them, you can see there. Rather than on the take event and so on, the amount of events triggering is a fraction of what you'll be experiencing. So it's still not perfect, but you're going to get, well, I don't know, what's that, 7, 8, something like that. So that's basically a better place. It'd still be nice to know the actual raw event, but there is, unfortunately, it doesn't look like there is one. Not according to this. Look at the overall events. Toolbar, customization done, nope. I was hoping it would show under here, and if you had your own control, we would capture it on the execute. So, but because we're not,
Oh,
we're going to have to look for other ways of detecting it. That makes sense.
yeah, I'll give this a try. I think this should work.
So basically, yes, that's. I've listened for the resize client. You could try resize. Was it just resize or resize client? Resize. So you could track for that or that, and I think there was get client bordered width, and I mean, we can put some debug out to see how many these trigger. But basically, they're the things that you're after. They're probably the least triggering, if you will, for the best place to do them.
Cool.
And okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be better than what I had going.
Yeah, you had it in, what was it? Take event, just on the window take event.
It was on the command bar take event.
Right. And on the app frame, yeah, that would have been
And it was also on the app frame except loop too for some reason. I don't know why I had it in both places.
That would have been that would have been triggering like mad, triggering crazily.
I think so too. Yeah, so that was a lot of stuff. And it was always just getting the property to see if it was the same as the last.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this running, if we let's just clear that. So we'll try a few things going into stuff. We'll just have a look at how many we get. Minimize. Show. Maybe some more. And then come out. Yeah, still. Because I bet if we clear that, clear the filter, and there's quite a lot. So yeah, it's going to be a fraction of what you were explaining before, experiencing before.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming you're not getting a whole lot of people with problems with the command bars crashing. So
no, honestly,
it's got to be something I'm doing.
It's quite stable. Typical. His phone always rings when there's a webinar. No, yeah, it's quite stable. You know, there was many years ago there was issues to do with initialization and so on, but they've been put to bed a long time now. So, which is good. You said you were going to show us a tip on the shortcut.
I was just looking at your debug, and you require 2 parameters on it. I was going to recommend that you switch those parameters and make the second one optional, so that someone could just type in, like you did the first time, you just type in debug and then what you wanted it to say.
Yep, and
it would. The second parameter would be optional to say this is where it's coming from, so that you don't have to do the second part, I guess. So you only have to put in one part.
Yeah.
Because actually, this debug thing will put in whatever the last app is, if it's not specified anyway. It seems like, what did you put in the first parameter? You put in app
frame.
App frame.
Because.
But that should be showing up where it says app or module, so there's something not quite right there.
Well, yes. I've not got your extension on there. There's no SQL Ultimate Debug template or anything like that on there.
Yeah, that's okay though. But the let's take a look. Click up at the bottom where it says View Raw Message. Click on that. Let's see what the format looks like.
Oh, that one? No, let's go to, say, the app frame. Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's strange.
Yeah, because the intention was to put that in there.
Yeah, it should be showing up in there. Click on another line, any line.
Sorry, not in there. In the just in the procedure. Oh, no, that's why. That's why I wanted it to be in the procedure there. In the app frame, but I do want to say what class.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
gotcha.
To say what class, because potentially, and in some of my screens, I do have two separate command bars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's actually really good. Now you know exactly where it's coming from. Actually, that's really good.
Yeah, only because, as I say, imagine, if you will, I've got a screen, command bar across the top. It's a list of customers, a list of patients, whatever. And on the right, I've got a separate command bar, two separate controls, and the one on the right is basically a filter in A to Z. So you can quickly show me all patients beginning with A and so on.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
if I've got debug going on, I need to know which command bar is posting the event. So that's why it just puts a class in front.
I like that. That's good. Yeah, that's really good.
So
No, maybe you're okay. I mean, it was just if you need to keep that, I guess. What was that first part doing? What was the where it said app frame, right? What was it? Where's this supposed to show up?
no, it is in there. It's in the procedure. So I want to know what procedure was posting it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it does pass
Oh,
a
I see it
procedure
there.
of. Now it could be app frame and put that in brackets. That's just a formatting, So I could have potentially passed it in the format of something like that.
Okay.
Maybe that might have been a better way of doing it. To be fair.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. As far as the looking at it, well,
So
I think that's fine the way that is. That's okay.
yeah.
It's kind of nice though. So you're seeing all the things that it's doing.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, it is good. I definitely need to switch across to using it as the default use, so to speak. Okay, so just to recap for yourself
Yeah.
there, you want to listen to one of the events. I would probably suggest the resize client. I'd probably go with resize client to be fair. Listen, so you turn it on in the extension of the command bar, case sensitive as well, and then in the event embed point, that's where you'll want to say, okay, save the absolute of the minimize state.
Okay. That's what I'll do.
Okie dokie.
My turn.
With
Your
Arnold.
turn.
My turn.
Okay,
It's
well,
Arnold's turn.
I just have to update my notes.
Oh, you have somebody else? Oh, sorry.
No. No, it's just the minutes. So for when I
Oh,
put the notes on the recording.
oh. So, do you remember you were telling me that you might be doing that I'm not might be doing something wrong on my command bar status bar because I add an additional control?
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, basically, let's just
And I thought I was doing. It was been like that for like
long time.
years.
Yep. Yeah, agreed. So for the bit of background for the sake of the recording, Arnold, I've been using it's a VM, weren't it? And you found it was slow to initialize. Now, in the end, it ended up being basically a low spec configuration for the VM, but it did highlight something. Now, if I go to one, say, different controls here, this screen has got a command bar on the top, and it's got a status bar at the bottom. So as you hover over the different controls, the status bar can show those options. Now, because this is on a procedure, it won't take up any of the actual client space. It will put itself at the top of it. Well, it'll put itself to wherever it's told. So it puts the status to the bottom, and I've told it to put the command bar to the top. That's great for a window, but on an app frame, you haven't got the luxury of it. So the way you have to do it at the moment, and it's not the nicest, is go, okay, we'll have another second command bar. This one we'll call, we'll just go down.
I call it status.
Status bar, yeah. We'll put it docked to the bottom, which you'd expect it to be anyway, to be fair. It is status bar, usual settings. I think that's really it. Let's just go with that for now. Of course, we should really give it some content. Actually, I think I need to give it a bar. Okay. What am I missing? Status bar options include status bar. Yeah, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Reddit probably usually give it something like an idle and tell it that is idle text, and that means when you're hovering over buttons, which we saw a minute ago, that's the idle, if you will. So
This
now
is where I put cap lock and num lock and all
yeah,
that.
and you can actually do a little resize thing and so on. Looks good, and that's those type of settings here. The caps lock, the num lock, and it does it all automatically for you, even the little resize and so on. So It's really nice on that. But those two, as I go through, these two know about each other. They are related. These two aren't. So we've got that, and we've got one up there. Me adding it then, it's been a while since I added one, so I forgot to tick a couple of boxes and so on. So what I want to do is, when you normally go, if we go to the different controls, that's the window one. We had one command bar, we've got it ribbon, we've got it at the top by default, and so on. And on the options, we said include a status bar, and hey presto, we got it. I want to be able to just take them same settings on the app frame, so you don't have to go and add a second control. You can just go to your normal, basically the idea is you go to your normal one on here, you still go to your options, click add status bar, and it will automatically add you a second control down at the bottom, basically giving you this effect that we're looking at here, but without having to add a second class, a second initialization of the control, and so on and so forth. That's the idea. But ultimately, they will. I think they'll still won't be joined, because in this screen, both this and this is one control. Whereas here, because they are on the app frame, they can't be. They have to be separate controls, unfortunately.
So why don't you just leave it alone and make them separate? Keep it separate.
Well, could probably do a bit of tidying up. Like I had to add a second control there and so on, and it's not the nicest to add. We can definitely make that easier. I mean, I added it and I forgot to turn the option on, even though I said it's a status bar and so on and so forth. You shouldn't have to do all the extra settings. So I think it will be a case of just so all you got to do is just tick the box like you do on the others, and you get the status bar. But I can't think of a way of relating this to the idle text down here, unfortunately. But
I'm just wondering why it ate up so much CPU that it couldn't.
Well, that leads me on to the second point. You know yourself, this is running on one thread, this is running on another thread. Well, if you can probably get some, not locks if you will, but during the initialization, I can't remember if I still apply critical locks and so on. And what I think might have been happening there is, while one of the bars is initializing, the second one is locking up and so on, and then it gets itself out of it eventually. But basically, I think there was a clash between bar 1 and bar 2, and they're on separate threads, so they don't know about each other. If I bring it all into the one extension and have them under one class, then I can control all the initialization. So I can say, bar 1, the one at the top, go and do all your initialization. Next, oh, you've got a status bar, right, now go and do the status bar down at the bottom, and so on and so forth. So it would eliminate the chance of any lockups, because I'd be controlling the initialization. I'd know when bar 1 is complete to start the initialization of bar 2. Currently they're on separate threads. You don't have that luxury. Only by applying critical locks, and of course that could potentially slow your system down a little while the two clash.
Well, it's quite a bit, actually. It slows it down quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as I took it off, pop, it's up, right?
Yeah.
I put it on, it was like 30 seconds, 20-something seconds.
So that's the thinking behind it. So yeah, it's more work for me, and for the end result, you won't really notice much difference. But it's like anything, you learn from stuff, and you experience that there, and I think it'd just be easier for a simple tick. include status bar, hey presto, you get it down at the bottom. There would be this disclaimer of the two aren't technically linked from an idle point of view, but for the rest of it, it'd be the same class. So as you've got your class there, you'd have one class controlling both bars, just as you normally do. So your code, if you was manipulating anything within this window here, the code would be identical on the app frame. You wouldn't have to have two separate bars and two separate classes and so on and so forth. So there is a lot of merit in having it.
Yeah, as long as it controls that initialization, I guess that's the winner part of it.
That's the core of why it's being done. The rest of it is a bonus, to be fair.
Yeah.
But it's the initialization. Because they're on separate threads, the only real way you can do it without cramming up a load of global variables and so on and so forth is to try and lock apply a critical lock while it does some kind of initialization, have the other one waiting, and of course you do run the risk of, like say, clash. But if you had them one initialized one after the other via controlled code, it's fine.
Okay.
So that's the change which it's going to go in. It's not going to be that bigger thing. I'll just have to expand the core class, the common class, to allow for more than one control.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Just do my notes. Okay, so questions. We have, I'm just trying to see who it's from. Looks like command bar questions again. Oh, from Michael, okay.
Let's open up Michael's mic.
Yep, just going to do it. Hi, Michael. Do you have a mic?
Hey, Adam.
Hi.
I have my three questions. How can I load the control template in a main command bar?
How can you load a control template
Yes.
in a button?
In my
Oh, okay. So, when you say load a control template, you're thinking something like maybe a drop-down combo or something like that?
Yes. For example, a segway for the blade for the user.
Sorry, I got you. How can you load? Well, just explain a little. I'm not following. I thought you meant actually like mimic or attach, but I think you mean something different. So okay. So go with Sequin. What's it you want to do?
For example, I have a segway. I want to run a button for the user groups, and I want to the following command where I write a set key code, the security key, and a post event alert key. I tried this in a new selection in a case param ID, but not running.
So you want to call some of the Sequin's built-in functions like groups and so on and so forth. Now I know from via a button, maybe like a structure called security or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it should be just a matter, but you'd need to know the name of the Sequin procedures. I think they do have them though. I think the documentation does have them, but it would be a case of calling their built-in function. Let's see. Can we add Sequin to this app? I've got Sequin myself. Okay, so this global, we'll just have command bars, disable the licensing, but we do want the users. Okay, so we've got some Sequin options
in the
here.
mainframe.
Okay, let's just add the file driver DOS. Now, not actually, we just want to call one of the, which one is it? Any particular one? The login screen, first user?
In the mainframe, I have a button
Yep.
in my command bar, and I want to call the user groups. I write it set key code, the security key, and post event and another key.
Right. Do you have a Clarion menu on your main app frame?
Yes, in app frame.
Right. And you
Command bar.
yeah, do you have a menu bar as well, though? A Clarion menu bar.
A Clarion.
You do.
But now I have only the command bar in my mainframe, and I want to write in the button a command like I write.
Okay. Just trying to get the use groups. There it is. Sorry, I just got a couple of calls coming through. Okay. It should just be a matter of just calling that. I mean, we can try it. So, just going to add a button for that.
Yes. In a control.
Sorry, I got. Just give us 1 second. Someone's trying to get through.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm just going to add a button in here.
Yes.
I'll put it straight off. Well, Sequin groups. Okay, I'm going to add it to the. I think it was examples.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. That's no problem. And
Here.
yeah,
No. Here it's manually.
it's a what? Sorry.
In action to be performed.
Mhm.
The actions to be performed is manually.
Execute manually. Okay.
Yeah. And I want to write a command in this button.
Okay. That's
Like
no problem.
I wrote.
Okay, so I'm just going to move that. Okay, so it's just easier for us to get through. It's Sequin groups.
Okay.
Just put some code over here. So now we've got a button. We go
Yes.
to the command bar,
Yes.
and you'll have an embed point of new event. New selection.
The selection. Okay.
Okay, and under there, accepted, are the different controls. And in there will be our Sequin groups. So in here I could say, okay, I want to do it manually. Now, I think we could just call that procedure. Obviously tell it we've got to call that. We just try that. I'm not sure because Sequin doesn't. Sequin groups want some kind of parameter.
No.
Ah,
This
right.
is right. like a code that I wrote, like set key code, DS security key, and post an event alert key.
Okay, well, I mean, it can be, you can do anything you like, but I just put a message. This is the equivalent of the actions new event accepted on a Clarion menu bar. So if you think of it here, we could say button pressed, and we know it's the Sequin groups button. So basically, you're looking for new selection. You've got a list of all the controls that you've defined in the template, and if it's something that you've added manually via the code, then you could go straight to the code point there, code, and that will still pass through anyway. So that will trigger, but also this will trigger, and you've got the param ID, which is the name of the control that's been pressed.
Yes, I made this in a case for control specific actions. I make a case param ID of security user groups in my button, and I put the code, but not running.
Okay, well, it should. I mean, basically, yeah, we know it's Sequin groups, so we'll put it in here as a case, like you say.
Okay, I understand.
Param ID of well, it will be
yes, the button.
So we'll do it, and we'll put a message of that as well, and you'll see the message will trigger twice. So we'll say point specific, if you will.
Yes.
And then in there, we'll just put in the didn't need all that. General catch-all. Okay. So there's our Sequin groups. The first to trigger is the catch-all.
Yes.
And then the next one is a point specific. So you should be getting them to trigger, but they are case sensitive. So it might be maybe you know. But then it's what you want to do under there. It could be, you could call a Sequin, you could call anything you like. Does that answer it? I'm not quite sure it does.
Yes, but the command that I want not running. The command I wrote in my question.
Let me look. How can I load a control template in a button?
The second question.
Following commands.
Yes.
Okay, set key code.
Yes, security.
Okay. Let me grab that code. Let me grab the code. Right. Okay. Won't be a second.
Yes.
Quite hard to catch the code there, actually. Right, 1 second. Okay. So you've got something like, so we're happy with that. Let's go back to our specific code. We know that's triggering. So you've got some code of this. Set key code DS security post. Okay, you won't be able to just do the post. You'd have to do it against the actual main OCX thread itself. And that is because basically it's the command bar is running on a separate thread there. So you're sending the alert key to the command bar window and not the app frame.
Yes.
So that's why you've got. That's why you're not recognizing it. It's not triggering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically, you'd want that on the end. I think that's the 1, 2. Yeah. So we'll We'll put an event on the actual main app frame to listen for that. Okay, so window events, pre-alert key. I'm not sure it'll trigger in there. Oh no, it's already there. Okay, so I do that, and there's your event alert key come through.
Yes. It's running. Okay.
Yep. So just to recap, so we've got that. Basically, if I run this is what we were saying before with Arnold and so on. On here, you're in one window. It's obviously executing on a thread. You've got the command bar on that window. That is part of it, and so on, and it's all on that thread. On the app frame, you can't put controls, OLE containers, anything on the app frame. You can put a menu bar and a toolbar, but you can't put other type of controls. So what you have to, so the way I do it is I create a docked window. So this is actually a docked window, and the command bar resides in it. And here, this is another window. So if the app frame is thread number 1, the OCX here, the command bar, is actually on thread number 2. So you was posting an event, but this window was receiving it and not the app frame.
Yes.
So that's why.
Okay.
So so basically you have 2 extra parameters. Sorry, not that one. You have self, which is a command bars class. So it's we could if we wanted to say command bars there. Command bars dot, and you've got main thread, and you also have a command bars OCX. Yeah, OCX thread. And the difference between the two is that's the main. If you was on a window, they would both be the same. But if you're on the app frame, that's the app frame, and that is the OCX window.
Yes.
Okay. And I think you had a number.
Number 3 in we use a log file, a procedure that we call update log file. In each command in my client menu, I have this source update log file prop text to cut the logs of the users. Where I can put this in my all commands, all buttons in my command bar.
Okay, let me just follow that then. So you've got some update log file, and the code you send it. So you've got a function, just for everybody else. You've got a function or a procedure called update log file. You pass it some text, and it writes it to the log. And the text you send. Sorry?
Of a menu command. The text is a command of the menu. The name.
Yes. Yeah. So the text you send it, just for I'll bring it up on this screen, is that. So your command looks something like that, correct?
Yes.
So what would you want to send it, and under what condition, when?
In every control in my command bar, I want to send this.
You want to send that wording?
Yes.
Okay, so I've got this right. If I press that, you would want update log file with the wording different controls.
Yes.
And if I press that one, it would be bars on tabs.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine. So we'll mimic what you've got. Okay, so yours writes out to file and so on. We're just going to message it out. Basically, what I think you'd do is coming back to that same option before, but rather than put it in all of them, we'll put it under new selection, but instead of
Yes.
the accepted, we're going to put it under the general. Okay?
Yes.
And we're going to say, we'll call it, it wants to be command bars dot get, and I'm just going to get it for you now. Yep, get control property. The control is the one, the param ID, which has been pressed, and the property will probably be something like caption, but I'm going to check that for you now.
The caption button.
Yeah, just checking it though for you. Yeah. So it'd be something like caption. So if we try that, so let's just quickly try that for you.
Yes.
Okay, so if I do that, yep, different controls. I press that one, it should be action example on command bars, and it's action example on command bars.
Okay, I understand.
Yep. So let's just bring that code back up for you a second. So that's what you're after.
Yes.
Okie dokie. Okay. I think that's what we've got.
Yes.
Yep.
Always.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
No problem. No problem at all. Any other questions?
I have a request.
Have a request, okay. Does
You might be able to just
contain command bars? Because command bars seem very popular at the moment. That's good.
They do seem very popular at the moment, but it's not command bars.
Okay, fire away.
It's property grids.
All right, cool.
Unless I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong, but I was looking like I want to hide a category or I want to hide an item in the property grid. And right now I think I have to use the set property, but I'd like to have it an actual thing that just says,
do it for me.
Set hidden or set visible. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Unless I'm missing it. I thought it would be like set hidden, right? Or something like that.
Well, let's have a look.
Is that what you normally do?
Let's have a look. Again, we'll jump to the example. So we've got a starting point. Okay. Wait for Avast. I should prep all these in advance each week.
Oh, huh. You have 2 monitors there, right?
5. Yep.
Oh, I got 5 monitors. Okay. In the webinar, when I do the weekly webinar, I actually share like monitor 3, I think, 2 or 3. But that way, the notifications always show up on monitor 1, so people don't see my notifications.
Should really think about that. Okay, so yeah, we've got a grid, we've got categories, and we've got items. And what are you thinking? You want to hide one particular item or a category?
I do it a lot, actually. I'll hide an item or a whole category, depending on what I need to do, or what maybe it's a security thing, right? Maybe whoever is logged onto that screen doesn't need to see costs, so I need to hide those.
Got you.
Things like that.
Let's have a quick look at what we've got. So it might be we've already got something there.
Might be.
Definitely not that. It's going to be That's not a good. Yeah, that's not a good start. It's going to be the visible, like Clarion has hide, prop hide. Kojak work with a visible property. So, but I can't see one on the thing anyway, where any particular dedicated methods for it. That's not to say we can't put them in now, though.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep. So let's jump to not that one.
Yeah, on mine I've got, okay, so I've got, I've been doing it manually, so I've got set category property options and then dot hidden is what I've been using for the category.
Let's just have a quick look.
Set control property, I've got the set control property, then I've got the name of the control and then dot.
I can say, I bet this wants to prove me wrong and it's be dot hidden, but virtually all of them are. Yeah. Okay. And there is a dot hidden. Blatantly, that's got to be. You can tell they've had a different developer working on that because nearly all of them use dot visible. Yeah. But okay. So we've got check last item, and yes, we have a dot hidden in there. There is a set control state. That's already in there, so you could actually hide. There's a method for that. So let's just see what control is that. So we'll greet text, and what group is that? You see that's just showing you the item. Doc set. Right, so we've got a category of doc set. And save on close. We'll do them too.
It's one of those things where I go to look for it and it's like,
no, it's not,
and then it's not there. Then I gotta go. Okay, what do I do? I
yeah,
gotta search it out.
Blatantly obvious. Yeah, it's not blatantly obvious, and we make it blatantly obvious.
I know. That's what I thought I'd put a little request in.
That's no problem. That's the whole idea of the user groups. So we'll put cat hide. Then we'll do an item hide. You can tell where we're going with this, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
So there is one thing already on there, and it's you could do property grid, set control state, pass it the ID, so that would be in the currently selected one there, and then you can say shown, hidden, enabled, disabled. So if we said it's hidden, it would hide it. To be honest, we don't really do that in many other places. So we'll change it. We'll test that works, but then we'll change it in a second.
Okay.
Just having a quick look for the categories as well. Yeah, we've got a category queue. So there is a set category property. I think it's just going to treat it as the same particular thing, right?
Yeah, there's a set category property and a set control property.
Yeah. Well, we'll use them as a basis, to be honest. But yes, basically here, I think that same control might actually do an item and a category. Just going to check. So that, if I remember rightly, is doc set, yeah. So if I press that, yeah. So that set control will do both. If I highlight rep rate and hide it, and rep rate goes. But it's not that user friendly. So I'm just trying to think. I think we use visible everywhere else. So a couple of new methods, I think, of set item visible, set category visible. A get and a set.
That would make me very happy.
Okay, let's.
Because it's so easy to find it in the list.
Yeah, let's do that now. Let's just bring the code in. People can see what's going on. There's no trickery. That's that. And this approach here, what I'm going to be doing, is typical of the rest of the actual products. So you'll see what I'm doing here, and it's very similar to basically the rest of the classes. So learn it for one. You should be able to do something like this yourself for any of the products. You wouldn't have to do all this, of course. I'm just doing the groundwork. So we were thinking set item visible.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, we'll probably want a get of that. So okay, set item visible, get item visible. And we'll do the thing of that, and the same with a category.
Perfect.
Okay. Of course, now we actually going to need to do that. Let's copy that. Need to get the actual property, of course. Oh, hang on, I did have the code somewhere. Yeah, because they use a dot hidden. Typical, right? Okay. Visible equals, and it wants to basically equal the absolute of that. Yeah, just trying to think aloud there. Just trying to think the easiest way switching it is annoying thing. You've got an immediate if, haven't you? Okay, very crude, but you get the idea. we want to set that after set item last. Imagine we've got to get item property, which we have, yeah. So that's the second one. Next we want to set sorry about this, John, just
It's just one of those things that, it's like,
yeah, no, it's just I didn't press the thing set. What does that do? It returns you a true or false. So actually, don't need to do that. I can just put it straight there. Yeah. Again, pretty crude, but you get the idea. Right, we'll just review that. Did it quite a thing here. So you've got to get category visible, pass it a category ID, and it will get the hidden. Flip it. Wish Clarion had an immediate if, but flip it and return that. Same.
You could do a choose on there.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have actually been. Yeah, I think I prefer that. Although I'm sure at some point I did some timings and so on, and the choose didn't actually perform too clever,
Really?
Although I use choose, I bet if I do a quick search, I bet I've got chooses everywhere. Yeah. I will put it in the thingy. There was something at the back of my mind. So yeah. 'Cause I think that would look.
Then it would just be return, choose, whatever. Right?
Yeah. So if the absolute of that is true, then we'll have to. It literally would just be a finger straight in it.
Yeah, just do a straight return, yeah.
Yes, they could. Yeah.
Look at that.
A little smaller, isn't it?
Refactoring. Yeah.
Actually, just noticed that wouldn't have compiled anyway because it still had the wrong ID there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like it.
Got that. And the item, and the item, and the item. Got that. And the set. We are going to have to. Now, of course, that could be, as you say. And I know where you're going with it, so I might as well just jump straight in and do it that way. Before you say it.
You're waiting, right? Yeah.
Category, and the same here, but that would have had. Now, you notice I always put auto.
You can get rid of the return value too. But if you want to get down to one line, you could do that too. But it's up to you.
Yeah, it's in everywhere else. It's in everywhere else. We'll do it. But you notice I put auto on there, and I never used to.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing. I've done it for years now. But do you know why I do that? And a bit of trivia for others. Robert Brazy went through the calendar template and slapped my wrist because he said basically I had something like I would have that without an auto on there, and then I always like to initialize my code. Initialize the code to something and then go off and set it under condition. And he said, well, you're clearing it twice, you're defining it 0 and then you're setting it to 0. So, and I weren't willing to give that up. So now I'll just define it with the auto.
So what does auto do? I forgot.
Well, if you define it as such, that would get an initial value of 0. And if I defined it as string 10, it would be spaces or C string, and so on. Auto, that would get it would create the variable for you, but its content would be whatever happens to be in memory at that moment in time of where it's created it. And the same there. So that could potentially have 10 random characters in there by default.
So auto
doesn't initialize the actual content for you to the shape of the actual variable. It just finds that variable, allocates it a piece of memory, but doesn't wipe the memory. So, and then I set it explicitly. Because I always like, in my code, I always like to, you'll see, maybe there's a return there, return value, false, and then go and set it under condition when I know it's been done, and I'll return it. But I always like to have that starting point. So,
gotcha.
Now, of course, okay. I could have just done that and not have that, which is what he was saying, and that is the same. But I always like to explicitly see what it is. So that's why I do it.
Sure, there's readability, right?
Yeah.
So that you're doing right. Yeah.
So he went through and slapped my wrist. So from now on, I just do that. I mean, from a speed point of view, technically it is faster, to not go and allocate the, go and clear the memory twice. So yeah.
Cool.
Okay, let's try that. And that was okay, weren't it? Get category, get item, category, item. And that. Go back to our simple, and what we'll do is now we'll just toggle them.
Yeah.
so this way we can test all of them. Get category visible. That equals true. Else and end. And I know that could have been a choose as well, but it's only it'll be deleted after this. Set it to false. Well, I set it to true. But yeah, okay, let's try it.
Cool. Yes, looks great.
Oh, don't like something. Matching prototype. Get property visible. No matching field not found. I've done it in the right place, haven't I? No, it's okay. 1 second. I'm going to do a particular project. Different template sets, different Clarion builds. So So we should be able to toggle our document settings off, on, just didn't scroll, that threw me. There you go. And toggle, let's have SSN. Okay, what have we missed on that one?
Oh.
Get item property. Set category property, should be.
Ah.
Oh, hang on. No, that is right. Yeah, that one.
That one should be item.
Copy and paste king, but don't always work sometimes. So yeah, toggle, 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 toggle.
There you go. Excellent.
Okay. Property grid, new methods. Put. Okie dokie. Questions? Nope.
I think we're done, maybe, huh?
Gotta say. There don't seem to be any other questions. John, I'll send you a quick zip of that. No point in doing a build for that, but I'll just zip the property grid files up, so they should just drop straight over your. I take it you're relatively up to date.
Well, I kind of lagged a little bit behind because of the multi-DLL thing.
Right.
Because if I ever update to yours, then I lose all the multi-DLL, then I have to go through like 8 of them and put the template mods in there. So that's much better for me.
That project, which I was in the different Clarion build a minute ago, that's a new project, and that's already up to something like 10 DLLs, which all the things are in there. So I'm making a rod for my own back there. I should have really done it first. The multi-DLL settings, I do need to get them done. So.
Yes, please.
Like I say, I mean, there must be 10 DLLs only started the project. Cutting it into multi-DLL only started it last week, and it's already in probably 10 at the moment, if not more. So yeah, I've got. It needs doing sooner rather than later as well. So.
Yeah, the trick part, I think. At least I was. Let's see, my ribbon bar. I have it set to be silver. and then I have like 23 DLLs, and I would go into one of them and open up the procedure, and then when I went up and touched the ribbon bar, it would turn blue. It was because the settings were different
Yeah. Oh,
in that DLL than they were in the main DLL. So it'd be really nice to be able to just go to the main DLL and say, I want everything to be.
oh, now you see you've got that wrong on your settings there. Okay, because what you should do is say on your main app frame. Now let's go to the command bar. Same, it doesn't matter if it's multi-DLL this. Okay, what you should do is on the main app frame, we can say, what theme is this using? Probably Office 2010 by default. We'll just check. Yeah, okay. So on the app frame, you tell it to, both for the language and for the actual resources, use a global setting. That's perfect. But for all the others, so if we say this different control types, what you want that to be set to is inherit. Yeah, inherit settings. And that's the same with your multi-DLL. So what I do in some of my apps, if I've got a little login window, I'll have the actual controls hidden. So they just initialize, and I can check the well, it harks back to when you had to register the controls rather than use reg3com. But I'd have them on the login window or on the earliest window presented to the user. Have them set to use the global setting from the app frame, and then everywhere else in the app, especially if it's multi-DLL, you tell it to inherit. And because the control, so just to run that through, the control's been initialized here with one theme and one language and so on, and then any others which you open would inherit from the controls already being initialized. Because what it does is the control is loaded into memory, but the settings what control both the language and the themes are global. So this control would also use the same. And if I open another one here, this control here is also using the same, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so I need to go through all my command bars, I guess, and change that setting.
Yeah, if I was to go and put this back to a command bar interface, which we had originally. No, wrong one. Don't want that. Oh, I don't want that one. Yeah, you'd be getting something like this. So there it is. Now if I open that and it's blue and blue, if I change that to say silver, and I go and open that, it takes on silver. And if I change that to black and open that, it takes on black. But if in one of the other procedures, and again, don't matter multi-DLL or anything like that, if I said on here, go and use global, then yeah, it would cause issues.
That's the default, right? The global.
It is, yeah, because at some point you do need to initialize. So that's and that opens, and of course they're both using global. That's fine. Bit trigger happy again. If I change that to black, that's great. And black, open that, it's blue. You're getting a mishmash. And now if I go over there, and that's blue, because now that's told to inherit, but is it told to inherit? Yeah, open it a second. No, not that one. We'll check. But I'm fairly certain that'll be told to inherit. But the last one to be initialized and changed the global setting was this window here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
So it's just a little tip. Right. Without further ado, then I suppose we can wrap it up.
I think so.
So tip. I'm just going to do my notes. I have to, because if I don't do these, then you'll shout at me. 4 themes. Okay. Without any more, I think we'll wrap it up.
Just reminders. What?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy,
Mhm.
because you're doing this weekly thing, does that mean you'll have more releases posted or
Uh,
not? Or are you still gonna?
the main work at the moment is on the new command bars. Like I say, we've got this
Okay.
backstage view. Although this last week I've only got a hand. No, actually, no, that's not quite true. I've got some in the mornings, but not as much time as I wanted to be honest. This last week,
Okay.
but no, depending on the content, really. Like we chucked in a couple of extra methods there. I could just do a build of that. It might just come in handy. In fact, hell, why not? Yeah, I'll put a build together. It'll take me 20 minutes now, and I'll put the build out so it'll be an official build. So they might be small but more regular.
Yeah. No, I mean that sounds good, because then things are okay. You just keep moving.
Yeah, no, I will. I'll update that.
Like 3 months later, go. Oh, what did we change back then? It's not tested by a lot of people. No.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
No. I will. I'll put the build out now. So yeah, sounds like a plan.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Cool. Right. I will speak to you Friday.
Wrap it up.
Friday.
Okay.
Wednesday open webinar. Thursday Net Talk webinar. Friday Clarion Live.
What time's the open webinar on Wednesday?
Same time as this one.
Hmm.
Yeah, same time. 8 o'clock Clarion Live. Which next week I'll make sure my computer clock is correct, so I'm not late. That was so weird.
You did panic me a little. So.
I know, because I looked at the thing. What's he worried about? It's an hour. It's got an hour to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Cheers,
Later.
everybody. See you later.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Have a good one.